A Common App essay is not a normal essay. I've read hundreds of Common App essays, and here are some of the most common mistakes and misconceptions that students have that could cost you your place at a top US university. Hi, my name is Zoe, and I'm a native English speaker, teacher, and English text editor. Over the past 5 years, I've corrected over 2,500 university application essays, including many Common App essays for students who've got into some of the top universities in the US, UK, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, and more. I'm also the founder of Xena International Education, an educational platform that offers many services, including essay consulting and correction services. So, if you'd like extra support with your Common App essay, feel free to message us or visit www.xenainternationaleducation.com/collegeapp.php to find out more. Anyway, let's get right into it. Mistake number 1, treating the Common App essay like a formal academic essay. The Common App essay is not a normal essay. It is a highly personal and somewhat creative response that requires you to move away from the essay writing conventions that you've been taught at school. And we'll go more into how you should approach the Common App essay in another video. But just know that you shouldn't be writing an academic response. And this brings me to point number 2. And the second mistake that students make is using formal language. As we just said, the Common App essay is very personal, and using formal academic essay language takes away from the personal nature of the essay, making you sound performative and detaching you from your writing, which doesn't work well in your favor when it comes to university admissions. Mistake number 3, not writing with your voice. It's really, really important that your voice comes through in your essay. There's no right voice or wrong voice. It just has to be your voice, and needs to be a voice that's deeply personal to you. Hopefully, even with just the first 3 mistakes that we've mentioned, you can see just how important it is to write personally in a Common App essay. And this is one of the most defining features of the Common App essay. It's all about you and your personal experiences. Anyway, on to mistake number 4, talking about too many things in your essay. Your Common App essay is not a resume. You do not and should not be listing out all of your achievements, experiences, and hobbies. This is for the activities and honors list. What you should be doing instead in your Common App essay is focusing on a single experience or a single journey and centering your essay around that. Don't talk about everything that you've done. Mistake number 5, thinking that you need to choose a very tragic or life-changing event to talk about. In fact, it might even be the opposite. In the Common App essay, you can write about absolutely anything from life-changing disabilities to something as simple as eating breakfast. What matters is not so much what you talk about, but how you express what that event or what you talk about shows about you and who you are as a person and who you are as someone who's ready for university. And that's also why, in this mistake number 6, it's not too great to talk about something too tragic. Of course, if you have experienced some really tragic events, you can talk about these events. However, you shouldn't just be talking about what happened to you and the tragedy of the event. Instead, what you need to do is show how you've overcome that tragedy or how you've grown and learned from it, how it's shaped you as a person, how it's shaped you to become who you are today. And this also leads into mistake number 7, talking too much about your problem. Ultimately, the Common App essay is trying to find students who are ready for university. Admission officers want to know who you are and what skills and traits you have that make you ready for university or make you a student that universities want to accept. When you talk about the problem itself actually says nothing about who you are and what you have to offer. Instead, you have to make sure that you spend the majority of the time in your essay talking about your growth or what you've done to overcome the problem, as this will really showcase who you are, your personalities, your traits, your skills. Again, we'll talk more about this in another video. But another mistake that students make is mistake number 8, making the essay about someone else. A lot of students actually like talking about their relationships with other people or those who have inspired them, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. But you do need to make sure that even if you're writing about someone else, that you always relate it back to yourself. The essay should be about you, not about the other person. The admission officers want to know why you're ready for university, not your mum or your best friend or your teacher. So make sure that you write the essay about you. Now, another very common mistake that students make is number 9, trying to sound too perfect. As we mentioned earlier, the Common App essay is highly personal and it's trying to show who you are and why you're ready for university. What university admission officers are not looking for, though, is perfect students. There's absolutely no one in this world who's perfect. And making it appear that you're perfect takes away from the authenticity and personal aspect of your story that admission officers are interested in. Don't be afraid to show your mistakes and be vulnerable. These are qualities that admission officers would like to see, and these qualities have to show your growth, which is another plus point. Mistake number 10, worrying about what prompt you have to answer. There are 7 common application essay prompts that you can respond to, and each of these common application essay prompts are very, very broad. And prompt number 7 itself basically says that you can write an essay on any topic of your choosing. So basically, any essay that you write will fit into one of these prompts somehow. So instead of choosing a prompt and limiting yourself and trying to write an essay based on that, what we really recommend that you do is that you write an essay that you want to write and then find the prompt that fits your essay afterwards. Mistake number 11, thinking that there's a perfect structure. There's so many videos online that talk about all these different essay structures that have gotten students into some of the top universities in the US. In actuality though, there's actually no such thing as a perfect structure that will guarantee you admission. Instead, what you need to do is choose a structure and choose a format that works with your experience and that best showcases who you are. There's no right or wrong structure, and you don't need to chase the perfect structure. What you need to do is just find yourself and write about that. Finally, on to my last point, mistake number 12, neglecting spelling and grammar. Yes, the common essay is highly flexible, highly personal, and highly creative. And yes, you can do away with a lot of the normal essay conventions that you've been taught. However, one thing that you should not forget is to proofread and make sure that your spelling and grammar are correct. These are very simple errors that, if made, can distract away from your writing and can lose the effect that you want to achieve. And that's it. 12 very common mistakes that students make when writing the Common App essay. Thank you for sticking with me all this time. If you have any questions or anything, or would like additional help with your Common App essay, feel free to leave us a message or visit www.zenainternationaleducation.com/collegeapp.php. The first 50 students who use the code ZIE2025 can get 25% off their essay correction. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.